wiggle, wiggle. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, we're going to talk about foundation. I'm giving you my top 5 foundations that I think is perfect for my girls with combination to oily skin. The summer months are coming up and I'm trying to get you guys all prepared and set for that. So if you want to see foundation that's going to keep you beat and nice and matte for the summer, just keep watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button below and that little bell right next to it so you guys won't miss another upload. I also do hair tutorials. I have a hair tutorial on this hair, so I'll leave that in the iCards above, so if you want to check that out. I do makeup tutorials, products reviews, lifestyle videos, and more. So I'm going to start with the low to the high end. The next foundation is this e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. This foundation comes with SPF 15, and for the summer months you want to make sure that you're using SPF. I can't stress that enough, especially if you have hyperpigmentation. You have to use SPF, otherwise your dark spots are just going to get darker. It's only SPF 15, so I don't know if that's high enough, but you can always use a sunscreen underneath your foundation. So I started using this foundation probably going on 2 months now, and I originally tried it in the e.l.f. store and I was just in awe. Like, the foundation just, I didn't even set it with powder and it already looked semi-matte. Even another young lady was in the store and she said, "What's that you have on your face?" I was like, girl, it's this. Like, I was so surprised that e.l.f. has this foundation. And this foundation is said to be oil-free. It's not completely matte. You know, for the summertime, you still want to have that youthful, radiant glow. And I feel as though that this foundation is perfect for that. And of course, if you prime really well, your oils will be at a minimum. The best part about this foundation is that it's only $6. Like, yes, $6. I said $6. If you're on a budget and you can afford a foundation, if you save $1 for the next 6 weeks, you'll be golden. This is one of the foundations that I think everyone should try and have in their collection, even just to wear like every day and like to even out your skin tone. Because sometimes, I know for me, I don't want to wear my high-end foundation on a daily. Like, this kind of foundation, I'll put it on, even out my skin tone, bronze up, lip, mascara, and go. So the first foundation is this Milani Conceal Imperfect 2-in-1 foundation. This foundation retails for $8.99, and it depends on where you live. You can probably even get it for a cheaper cost, and it's said to be lightweight and oil-free. It's also a medium to full coverage. You guys know I love me a full coverage foundation, so this is one of my go-tos. You guys see it here over and over on my channel, so it's not something new to me. I've been using this for a while. And this foundation is supposed to be waterproof, sweat resistant, and long lasting. Sometimes when I use this foundation, I like to sheer it down a little bit, because if I'm going for a lighter coverage and I just want to even out my skin tone, I like to go in with this Smashbox Photo Finish primer oil. So what I like to do is mix these two together, and it just makes the consistency a little bit more thinner and not as moussey and thick. So another thing that I like to mention is the range in the stores are pretty limited, and I think the deepest shade they go up to is Tan Sand, and that's the darkest shade I've seen, and that's the shade that I use. I would definitely recommend you guys buying it online because they have a larger range of colors there. One thing that I love about this foundation is the fact that it has a pump, and it allows you to control the amount of product that you're pouring out, and in the long run it saves you because you're not wasting product. Moving on to the second foundation, which is the NYX Total Control foundation. So this foundation retails for about $14, and it's a little bit on the high end for a drugstore, but yet I personally feel like that price is totally fine. I love the fact that this foundation has a very, very, very wide range of colors. They have 24 shades, and it goes from the fairest skin to the deepest chocolate-like skin. I feel as though this foundation is great because pretty much everyone can find a shade that would suit them. Another thing that I love about this foundation is how creative and innovative this dropper is. So here I'm showing you, you just drop the product into the brush that's recommended to use with this foundation, and the more drops that you use, the higher coverage you would have. I use to about 8 to 10 drops. The brush is recommended, but of course you don't have to use it. You can use any brush that you have, or of course the beauty blender. One thing I also like to mention about this foundation, I noticed that when I put it on, I feel as though I have a lot of foundation on. I don't know if that's only me or if that's my mind or I'm just crazy like that, but I feel like I have foundation on, and some foundation gives you that feeling, and this one is definitely that, for me at least. So let me know if the same thing is happening to you if you've tried this foundation. You guys know, and I'm sure I don't have to say it. You want to say it with me after 3.
1, 2.
Becca! Yes, my Becca Ultimate Coverage Foundation is everything. You guys know how I feel about this. I'm not gonna go too into it because this foundation gets me emotional. It just makes my heart smiles. Now, this foundation retails for $44. The consistency is very moussey. It's very easy to blend out. I wear this foundation when I know I'm going for a night out. I'm going to have me a good time. I know I want my foundation to stand up. It's just hands down the best high-end mattifying foundation that I've ever used. I have yet found anything to compare to it. It states that this foundation is a very breathable foundation. I 100% agree. This foundation, I do not feel cakey. I don't feel like my pores are being clogged or anything like that. Blends out like a dream. I can blend this out with a brush. I can blend this out with a beauty blender. I can blend it out with my finger. Of course, all these foundations you're setting with a powder. I don't go too hard on setting this foundation with a powder. I lightly just dab the powder on it, and I'm golden. I love this foundation. Every time I use it, it just holds up very well, and I just have no complaints about it. I have nothing back. The color range on this foundation and the whole Becca line with the Ultimate is pretty good. I'm looking on the site now. They do go up to a very deep shade called Cocoa, and it's pretty dark, so I'm sure, you know, if you're anything darker than me or very dark, I'm sure you can definitely find something that can suit you. I like the fact that it has a pump. Again, this is going to allow you to control the amount of product that you use. Foundation for $44, you definitely don't want to be wasting it. Last but not least is this Lancome Teint Idole Ultra 24-hour makeup. This foundation I've heard a lot about, and I recently just bought it. It retails for $70. It retails for $47, and which is, you know, pretty pricey, and that's one of those foundations that I'll wear not so often, but I like the consistency of it. I like how it's definitely medium coverage. It's not full coverage. I feel as though it will be perfect for oily skin because once you set it with a powder, it's pretty much matte, and it holds up for a good 24 hours. It's what I have on my face today. This foundation is definitely not going to oxidize on you. I don't feel, sometimes you have those foundations that oxidize, and I hate that because you leave the house one color and by the time you get to where you're going, there's something else and you're just like, what happened? Did I get dressed in the dark or what? I heard a few people say that it oxidizes on them, but for me, it doesn't do that. It also has SPF 15 in it, so again, you're being covered. I don't know if you guys know too much about Lancome, but Lancome is just one of those top-notch companies where their foundation is just always on point. They have their bases covered. They live up to their standards, you know what I mean? And you're spending $47 on a foundation. This is what you expect, and I really love this foundation. I haven't had it for a long time, but like I said, so far I've really been loving it. And so yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope this video was very informative for you and you are a little bit wiser now on what foundations you can get if you have combination to oily skin for the summer. A few foundations that I do want to try out next is that Wet n Wild foundation. I want to try that Anastasia stick foundation, and I want to try the Makeup Forever foundation. I tried that in store and I loved it, and I'm gonna get it. I think they'll be good for oily skin. So yeah, if you guys have any recommendations on what you think I should try, leave those comments below so you know we can talk about it. Let me know what other videos you'd like to see. Catch you in my next one. Bye.
We all on a totem pole. Some are high and some are